Hello, and welcome to How to Sell a House in Central PA, an insider's guide to selling a home in the greater Harrisburg area. I'm Derek Bixler, experienced real estate professional and educator in Central PA, and I want to inform and empower home sellers by providing inside tips and strategies to help them sell their homes for more money, thereby keeping Central PA strong for everyone. In this podcast, we'll provide important information for home sellers through quick tips, interviews with related local professionals, and access to free tools and resources. If you have a question you'd like answered on the show or have an idea for a guest, please message us at howtosellahouse.org. That's howtosellahouse.org, or on our Facebook page. Thanks for listening and enjoy the show. Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 2. This episode is with 360 Tours. They are a real estate photography and much beyond that company in Central PA. They do a high percentage of the photos that you see on the houses around here. They do a great job. They're probably the biggest of what they do. They're even franchising out. If you need some pictures taken of a house for sale or all kinds of virtual stuff they're doing these days, and we'll give you the website and the place to find all the things, and they'll talk about some of the things during the episode. But we have 3 of the guys here, the 3 owners of the company are with us, and we'll talk for a little bit and give you some info on the company and how they can help you make more money on your house. So enjoy 360 Tours. Phone's off. Phone's off.
Mine's off.
It's all good if it.
Oh.
I can edit it. I'm not going to edit it, but welcome everybody to How to Sell a House in Central PA. This is episode 2. I just realized you guys can't hear anything in your ears, so I feel like I'm in some other world right now. But episode 2, 1 in the can. Today we're in the house with 360 Tour Designs with Heath, and Greg. I'm going to let you guys tell us a little bit about yourselves. 360 Tour Designs does professional photography, virtual tours, etc., etc. I'll let them explain a little bit about what they do, and you guys are diversifying a little bit more, and I'll let you guys explain that. But to start off, just maybe go ahead and tell us a little bit about each of you, whoever wants to start.
Sure.
Maybe where you grew up and how you ended up here.
Greg Drake, grew up here in Mechanicsburg, right in the Upper Allen, and lived here all my life. And about 3 years ago, I decided I wanted to own my own business after about 30 years in the restaurant business. And Keith and Heath talked to me for about 9 months, kept bugging me to join them. And finally, I bought into the company, and the rest is history, and probably the best decision I've ever made in my life.
And what did you say what you were doing before this?
I was operations manager for Isaac's Restaurant and Deli for 15 years, and then the last 15 years there I was senior manager. Okay.
Hours different? Was that retail hour, after hour? Restaurant hours kind of suck.
It was corporate work, so but it was still, I drove, the Lancaster office was in Lancaster, so I drove to Lancaster every morning from Mechanicsburg, hour commute both ways, then working 10, 12-hour days down there. So
gotcha.
A lot of time and energy in the restaurant business.
Yeah. If you're like me, you don't like the corporate world either, so
right.
You're probably happy to work for yourselves.
Hours aren't much different now, but at least I'm doing it for myself and Heath and Keith, so
and you guys have all
of our great people
most of the time, right?
We do. We're not. We don't actively have jobs on the weekends, so it makes the weekends a little less stressful.
So you guys had started the business, and then you asked Greg to come on.
Correct.
Yeah. After how many years?
It was after 5 years, 6 years.
Okay.
Because this February will be 9 years. So
9 years.
And he's been with us for 3. So
doesn't seem like 9 years.
Yeah, it does to me.
So that's Greg. Heath.
Yeah, we've came a long way, but Keith tells a story on how we actually started the best. So go ahead and tell how we actually got it started.
Well, to go way back, I actually grew up on the same street as Greg. That's how long we've known each other. But I was, and then Heath and I met each other later in life, and I was a real estate appraiser, had my own appraisal business, and Heath was at a party at my house, and he was looking at houses online, and I really didn't even know what Heath did at the time, and he was just telling me how bad the pictures were online, and telling me that he could do so much better than what he's seeing. And I said, oh, being an appraiser, I know a lot of realtors. And we just kind of looked at each other like, let's try this and see what happens. And long story short, here we are 9 years later in 9 different states and, growing every month.
Yeah, it's crazy. There was a huge hole there. I mean, nobody, and maybe it was out west, California or somewhere. They're always ahead of us. They were
Right.
probably doing it 20 years ago. So did you guys look out that way for models, or was this a franchise that you're part of, or this
No,
is all?
this is all we all
And
started.
now you're
Yeah.
franchising. Is that
Correct.
Yeah.
That's why he said we're in 9 different states right now.
Right.
But
That's crazy.
Yeah, my thing of it is crazy to think when we first started this 9 years ago, we had the idea of videotaping houses. So we got like the best video camera we got 9 years ago, and we went around and did a walkthrough. And to look back at it now, compared to what it is now with the 3D walkthrough and the Mataports and stuff like that, and we're trying to get more into video, where 9 years ago, no one really wanted video. We tried. Everyone just wanted photos. So it's funny to think 9 years ago, we were trying to push video, and now I think we're almost at that point where it's going to be like that for every home.
Buyers are demanding more and more intricate views of the space before they go out. And the more they see in their home, then that is less that a realtor has to take them. Instead of 15 houses, they may narrow it down in their own home down to 3. So it's really saving the realtors more time as well.
Oh, for sure. And I always tell people when somebody actually goes to look at a house in person, it's probably the second showing, the third showing. They've walked through it, they've seen a video, they've looked up the tax, they've seen everything they possibly could, aerials and all that kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
So that was Heath, also Mechanicsburg.
Yep.
I'll point out I'm also from Mechanicsburg.
Yeah, I was
so this is
95.
a
What
big
year you graduated? I
Mechanicsburg
forget.
party.
What year?
97.
Okay. Yeah, you're pretty close.
Yeah. I remember you had.
A white Mustang? Remember
Yeah,
that?
and you had a system in it. I also did my own system.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
I used to compete. Used to put 2-liter of Coke bottles on top and let it rattle off. That was fun. But yeah, my background comes from being creative and putting systems in, building stuff. I took my creativity into school and wanted to do video games, computer animation, and video. I was the video guy camera at the high school. I went around and I did all the video. So I was always into video, creating videos, and I went to school for computer animation, but I didn't want to move anywhere far. So I decided to come back to Mechanicsburg with my family, and I got a marketing job and did all that stuff, graphic design and video at the Carlisle Barracks for 12 years. And then eventually we got busy enough to go full time with this, and that's how I started doing this.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, it made sense to me kind of when I heard you were doing it because of the tech and doing all that stuff. And I'm kind of into it here. Obviously,
Right,
recording
right.
a podcast with a bunch of equipment, just buttons and whatnot is kind of fun, right?
Yep.
So we'll get right into some of these other topics. I have a little outline here that I sent them, and we kind of stick to a little bit. So what is the most common issue you come across when you're taking pictures of a home? Obviously, you guys are taking pictures of a home 99.9% of the time to list them and sell them. My number one complaint would be it's not decluttered, it's not ready. They didn't do what they were asked to do. They didn't put things away.
That's the norm,
It's
yeah.
not staged like it should be.
An unprepared home. Sure, absolutely.
Have there been any, what's the craziest maybe thing that maybe, well, you guys don't actually go out yourselves much anymore, but I'm sure
we
you
still
hear
go out
some
just because we like
things.
to. I enjoy going
Yeah?
out. Yeah. I think Keith has a lot more good stories than I actually do, but
Well, just one recently.
Give me one.
Our one photographer, was this like 2 weeks ago, said she stepped in dog doo-doo inside the house that
What?
she was in. Yeah. So I don't.
Tenants are the challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah, tenant, because you can't.
They
Can't
don't.
control
They
it
don't
at
have
all.
any care or say in whether the photos are done or done right. So those are always the challenge.
Right.
I was
it probably
actually-
stinks, and the photographer wants to get out of there as quick as
Yeah.
possible. Like
I was actually thinking of the one where the mom didn't want the daughter to get out of bed, so you actually took pictures with the daughter in the bed.
There was a kid, and it was a teenager under the covers in bed. I'm assuming she was sick, but the mother would not make her get out of bed for the picture, so I had to take the picture with a big lump in the bed.
Did you sign a release?
No,
It's just like a blanket.
But
with the
I'm
person
pretty sure the realtor
Covered
did
in
not
red.
use that picture.
I love seeing on social media, sometimes they put bad MLS photos. I don't know if you've ever seen all of those, but those
Yeah,
are funny
yeah,
to
yeah.
see
Yeah.
once in a while.
Hell
And it
yeah.
reminds me of that. But we've gotten things where the cops come for alarms, or he couldn't even get a house because he had to show ID
Yeah.
if he's really with the company. I mean, we get stories like that. I mean, we see it all. I mean, just dealing with the houses. So,
Pets can be a
the worst
challenge.
challenge, yeah.
Pets
Especially,
are always-
especially cats, because they don't listen. So
Cats,
Yeah.
I guess so. Dogs, you can get out.
Right.
and
I
do
mean, we
something.
were actually just had a meeting last week that we're going to have to get laser pointers to direct the cats to go somewhere else.
That's a brilliant.
I know.
Fantastic.
We have to be creative, you know.
What? Yeah, that works perfect. So, do you just fly the drone? Who flies the drones? The same people?
All of us, but I do more of it now.
yeah,
They stay back here and do office stuff.
Yeah. You guys don't like going out.
I try not to.
I enjoy going
Yeah,
out.
Greg likes going out.
Yeah. Get out of here every once in a while. So, since the topic of the podcast is how to sell a house, and it's mostly home sellers that are listening to it. Could be other people, but geared towards home sellers. Want to kind of give them some ideas of what they should do to get their house ready to list and to sell it, and in this case, prepare it for photos and what they can do. Obviously, declutter and stage as much as possible. Get up out of your bed and don't be there. Is there
That does
anything
help.
else you guys can
I
think
mean,
of
if
that
you look at from
makes it
the-
easier for your company, or what makes it easier for you to do your job?
Right. I mean, if you start from the outside looking in, I mean, curb appeal obviously starts at the beginning. So you want to mow your grass, make sure the tan barks, the weeds are pulled, stuff like that. And then that's the outside. Then you go inside. I mean, pretty much everything has to be tight and, nice and neat. And
The challenge for the seller is that they need to do all of these things, within 24 to 48 hours
And not-
of us showing up, so that it looks the freshest and the best that it can. And that's a lot of work to do in that time. So that's probably why we have a lot of appointments on Mondays and Tuesdays, because they're spending all weekend trying
That
to
is
get
true,
it ready,
yeah.
for us to show up. But just making sure that your home it doesn't have a lot of clutter on the counter. We're trying to show the home in its best place that we can, so the larger a room looks, the better a room looks, is how we want to present it. And the best way to do that is to keep the rooms free and clear of clutter or extra things on a counter or a nightstand or anything like that. Simple is best. It's hard to describe for home sellers because they're living in the dwelling now, but they really need to try to present their home for someone else, not themselves. So taking photos of themselves off the walls, things like that, to present the home the way a seller that walks in the door wants to see it. So when they do walk in the door, they picture themselves in that home, not in somebody else's home.
Yeah, those are all fantastic points, and I always tell people to. I literally go through with my arms and say, literally do this on every surface. You have those people that have to have a knickknack on every single thing. If there's a speaker, they have to have a thing on top of the speaker.
Right.
If there's something else, they have to have something on everything. So pack up. You're moving out. You intend to move out. So
Exactly.
pack it up like you're moving out. It should be like a hotel. People should ultimately come in and say, are these people still living here? You should have to open
Sure.
the closets and see things hidden away. And I don't care. People can pack the garage full and the basement if it's unfinished full, but just get it all
Right.
out as much as possible.
Absolutely.
And that's hard to tell an actual homeowner because they own the home. They think it already looks great because they live in it.
Right.
But they don't realize you got to make it look at its best.
Yeah. And smell its best.
Well, that's true, too, yeah.
Because you don't notice your own scent after a while. But you also, sometimes I take people out to go look at a couple of other houses to give them examples of, here's somebody who did it perfect.
That's smart.
Obviously,
That's a
you're
great idea.
enjoying this one. This one is like yours. And they didn't do anything, or it smells like cat or whatever, and they didn't shampoo the carpets or paint anything, or so it gives them perspective on what people think of your people don't any kind of ickiness.
Right.
Light switches especially.
Yeah.
The first light switch that people touch when they come in a house should be brand new, spanking nice. Doorknob, hopefully, even if that's one thing. Little things like that I like
First
to
impression.
change because, nobody wants to touch those icky
Yeah.
just light switches that are all from years and they've put 50 different plates on there but never changed them. Hey everyone, we're always on the lookout for good content for the podcast and our website. If you have any ideas for guests, any questions we could answer, or any ideas for topics, please go to howtosellahouse.org. That's howtosellahouse.org and drop us a message there. Or you can find us on our Facebook page. Thanks in advance for your input. It's much appreciated.
Yep.
Yeah.
When you bring up a good point too, a lot of times it's even nice for a home seller to go out of their way to hire a cleaning service to come in because they're going
Yeah.
to clean surfaces that maybe they just kind of ignore and just haven't paid attention to over the years. Where the cleaning service, they're going to get into every nook and cranny and clean all the details of the home and make sure it's ready to present.
Yeah, and it's fairly cheap, $100-$200 to get it pretty well clean.
Well, when you look at costs like someone to come in and clean your home, say it's $100 or $200, or someone to do a staging consultation, which I do recommend for everybody, they're usually between $100 and $200 depending on the size of your home.
Yeah.
Those costs can mean that your property can sell for much more than you think it might sell for because you start at a price point, and if your home isn't showing well with all the clutter and not cleanliness, that price is going to go down. Where if your home is prepped and ready to go, it might sell for the asking price. And if you go back to last year, and hopefully the inventory is better this year, but if it's not, some of the well prepped homes were selling for more than the asking price because people put the time and energy into it.
Oh yeah, for sure. 'Cause every buyer, 90% of buyers want the house that's ready to go, or as close to ready to go. So everybody's fighting over those, so that it drives the price of those up. In reality, the best investment is probably to buy one that needs fixed up, and you create your own equity and
Right.
added value. But if you want to get the most money out of when you're selling your house, do what the flippers do. They come in, they buy it cheap, and then they make it as
Neutral.
ready to go as
Right.
possible, neutral,
Absolutely.
like you said.
Gray. Yep.
And I mean, if you were selling a car, you'd clean it out, you'd dust it, you'd get all your filth out. You wouldn't just go sell it without washing it or cleaning it out.
Right.
So do the same thing with your house.
Absolutely.
Next thing I have on my list here is what's one common misconception that home sellers have about what you do? Is there anything you think they think you do or don't do, or
Well, I think along the lines of what we're talking about, I think a lot of homeowners think we're going to come there and
Stage the house.
declutter the house before we take the pictures and stuff like that. Like, we get
you
that.
offer that service, but
We do offer that service, but not by our photographers. So if we don't know ahead of time, it is something that, we'll hear from homeowners afterwards if they're not there, especially like, well, hey, why didn't they move this? Why didn't they do this? And it's like, that's not what we're there for unless it's scheduled for us to be there for that.
that's a great point. In
Yeah.
the standard photo package, or what most
Right.
what most realtors get, not a staging package or something, it's got to be ready. The photographers come in, they're spending maybe an hour or so there, depending on the size of the house,
Sure.
taking 25 to 35 pictures usually. Well, we can put more in the MLS now. Have you guys upped it to the amount you do, or you just kind of
Depends on the size of the house, too.
Size of the house, you
Yeah.
kind of tailor it. So yeah, that's a great point.
Yeah.
Get the stuff out. The photographer's not going to do it. I, as the realtor, a lot of times I go and when the photographer's there just to make sure and move this trash out of the way,
Absolutely.
clear off the counters. I don't even want a toaster there. I don't want anything.
Right.
Ultimately,
Right.
I'll fill up the other room while we're picturing
Right,
that one.
right.
Rugs, everything. Get it all out. Everything out. So that's a great point to bring up. That photographers don't do anything. So is there anything else you guys like to add? Obviously you do. I mentioned that you're diversifying. You started with photos. You did the virtual tours, which are used to be more of the, we call them a virtual tour.
We don't even like
it
the
was
word
just
virtual
moving
tour anymore.
photography, really. But now we're way past that. So how about you talk about some of the new things, the Matterport, the drone shots, the video within the Matterport, all that kind of stuff, anything that I haven't mentioned or don't know about yet.
Yeah, marketing a home has obviously changed dramatically over the last 5 to 10 years. So like you said, with the photos. And we talked earlier about the home buyer wanting to see more of the home from the privacy of their own home. If you've got a property that has a great view, then you do want to ask for the drone photos. If you've got a property that has great space outside, you want to make sure that we're taking, and we always look at those, but you want to make sure that your photographer is taking great exterior shots for you of all of the details. If you've got spaces in your home that should be highlighted other than photos, then we recommend the 3D walkthrough. That's the newest in technology, where a home buyer can immerse yourself in the home that they're looking at. So if a seller's property is on the market, a potential buyer could actually be, through the privacy of their own viewing space on their computer, be able to walk through the house and see every single room.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts. I mean, you could be in Russia or wherever. I don't know why I picked Russia out of every country I could have thought about. But I feel like I've been hearing a lot about them buying properties.
Well, I'm glad you actually brought that up, because the technology for the 3D walkthroughs is so sophisticated that if you had a buyer in Russia that wanted to see a home, you can actually add onto the end of a link and change all of the translation into Russian and then send it over to Russia. They can view the home from Russia and be able to possibly sight unseen. We've had that happen, where with the 3D walkthroughs, sellers from other states or other countries will buy homes sight unseen, but now we have the ability to even translate for those. So it's pretty amazing technology.
Crazy. Yeah, I've thought about running Facebook ads to other nationalities to buy stuff, and nobody's doing it probably.
Right.
So,
Bad
I
idea.
mean, now the idea's out there. Somebody else is doing it, but,
Your shot.
I'm sure somebody's doing it. Probably not in our market.
Didn't
Metro
we,
New York City.
Yeah.
didn't
for
we have
sure.
somebody from another state actually pay for the
Yeah, I was
Matterport
just gonna say that.
themselves because it was cheaper than them flying here to look? So they actually had us do the Matterport.
And we
for
we
them
sold it to
personally.
A la
those
carte,
people.
just for that buyer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So that
How
was
much is the? Let's do some pricing.
Well, it starts at 175
Just
was
for a
it
Matterport.
1,500 square foot,
feet.
and then
Okay.
it goes up $50 per 1,000 square foot, because obviously that takes
Yeah.
more time to map the space. So
Yeah, not that much in the whole scheme of things, especially if it's a 3, 4, 5, 6
Right.
plus $100,000 house. Basic photo package, which sometimes your realtor will pay for, sometimes it'll be on the homeowner. What's that, 150 now? More than that?
Usually just for photos about 125.
125 just
Yeah.
for photos, and then a drone's another 75 or 100 or something.
100,
Just
yeah.
so the home sellers out
Sure,
there have some kind of
I think
idea.
the biggest selling thing that we're doing right now, and I think it's going to be huge, is actual floor plans. We have it down set now that we make them look very good, and it's right off the blueprint of building a house. So we go into any residential and we build a floor plan and we present it. It's great to add it on to, as another photo onto
yeah.
Bright. So that's been it's our new thing. We're going to really try to upsell.
And people like me who like plans can envision where all the things will go. Some people, a plan is like my wife. It's that's
Right.
Chinese. I have no idea what that means. There's no pictures.
Well,
there's no colors.
we actually have the technology to help both of you through that process, because we can take the floor plan and lay it into what our newest technology is, our showcase platform, and then on that floor plan there'll be a little photo in each room. So you can say, oh, I love the layout of this living room, and your wife can say, yeah, but I just want to see the photo, and click on it, and it'll take you immediately to that photo of that room.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's all. And is that the thing with the video too, or was that within the?
That's
you
why we
can
call
put
it a
whatever
showcase.
You want to
Exactly.
click on, it'll come up. And
Yep.
So you could put a 360 photo or a 360 video or
Anything you want, any technology, any media.
You can literally
want
just put
can-
whatever you link in and
Whatever
link to
you
this
like.
and- Yeah. Huh. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how much are those?
The floor plans, the showcase platform is, it all depends on what all you want. I mean, we can add video. It all depends on
Sure,
what
yeah.
actually you want all in it.
Here's
Yeah.
a question I never thought about. What if a for sale by owner wanted to hire you guys? There's no difference from a realtor or anything. Do you ever do that?
We do
There's
a
some
fair
lead
amount of those.
generation that comes from some of the services you offer. If it was a for sale by owner, is there some way that there would be any lead capture?
You can lock, like if they go on to the actual virtual tour or showcase platform, screen pops up.
Gotcha.
And they have to put their information in.
Gotcha. So you could kind of get some leads for.
Yeah, we try to get away from them
facility
because it
maybe.
seems like more people put in like Mickey Mouse.
Right.
So,
There's one you got to give it to them free and then
Yeah.
get them somewhere else.
Right.
Yeah, for sure. Anything else you guys want to plug or anything? You guys, 9 states you said. So you can plug it to realtors too that may be listening in other areas. Maybe give a little plug to all your different locations and everything. Any new ones?
Our most recent one is Indianapolis, Indiana, and
Ooh.
Salt Lake City, Utah, were our 2 most recent ones.
Utah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're expanding nationwide.
Oh yeah.
We are.
Is that bi-coastal then?
Our goal is
Is it
close?
the lower 48 in the next 2 to 5 years. So
What's your closest Is there a lot of competition? Others that are spreading like that?
competition's growing and growing, but with any franchise or business solution, you're always going to have competition. We like competition because it keeps us on our toes.
Sure.
We're always looking to innovate and help our owners to grow in the areas that we're in, but every area that we've been in, regardless of competition, we've been able to grow and prosper in those areas because we've been doing it for so long. We have a system that works, and the 3 of us are here 24/7 to help those owners through that process, no matter whether they're here 2 months or 10 years. So that's really the solution that makes us effective, regardless of competition.
Yeah, it's great to have a proven system that people can just kind of take out of the box and run with, put energy into. If somebody wanted to start a 360 business, where would they go? How would they start?
Easiest way is to
Keith,
email.
you're the guy for
contact
you're the
me.
business guy, so you're always in the office.
Right.
You're taking that stuff.
Yeah, and since he
All
said we
right.
work 24/7, that means we do not take
So
weekends
your
off.
office guy, Heath is drone, go out as much as possible.
I like the mixture. I like to go in and out.
Okay, cool. Well, let's give everybody your phone number, or if there's anything else you guys want to share or talk about or anything. We're going to follow this up for everybody listening with some staging tip videos and other things. A couple more episodes because you guys do staging now too.
Absolutely.
Is there any other service that I'm missing that realtors and/or sellers?
We're breaking into the
could get?
sign service of business this
okay.
year, and it's really starting to blow up for us already. But we're doing lockbox delivery, sign delivery,
that's
and
right.
pickup. We're going to be getting in because that's the question everybody says. Are you just doing signs or are you doing 4-post signs? We're doing the 4-post signs. I don't know if we're going to be getting into the wood ones as much. I think we're going to be dealing in the vinyl posts because they're easier to install and maintain.
For sure.
And we can do that, believe it or not, for a lower price point than the wood posts, just because we don't have to dig holes. But we're getting into that. We're hearing out there from our realtors and clients they're challenged in that market for good quality service. So we believe we can deliver that service, and we're working hard on that model right now. Our end goal here, our company's name is 360 Tour Designs. Our end goal is to be 360 degrees of support for realtors. So really, if a realtor can dream it, we're hoping that we can achieve it for them.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome, and you're filling holes that are obviously there, and it sounds like you've pretty much you have everything on the marketing side kind of done for you, and that maybe that's the model that they're going for is everything on the marketing side, because you can do flyers and generate all that stuff. I
absolutely,
mean,
yeah.
somebody could come to you and say, do everything.
We can pretty
and
much
it's
do it.
kind of a transaction management system for the marketing side of it. Because
Absolutely.
we've got and you guys maybe are doing some transaction management at some point maybe, but yeah, so it's all kind of systemized, and I think it's great what you guys are doing, and there's nobody else doing it on the scale you guys are. And the service is great. I use you guys all the time, and everything's always
Thank
on
you.
time and done, and I try to be there to move stuff out of the way of the photographers, but I can't move a built-in air conditioner, unfortunately, and we're not allowed to Photoshop, so or any more than we process. I
Yeah,
think.
right.
Yeah. You guys have some magic touch that you click some button or some class.
We've
or I
moved
don't know
a
what you
cat
do.
before, but
Shoot
other
in
than
Photoshop.
that,
And no, in Photoshop. You had to.
but not a sleeping dog.
We can't talk about the magic touch that we put on that.
secret
That's
sauce.
Well, somebody give everybody your website and your phone number. They're located in Mechanicsburg, but website, phone number is probably the big thing for everybody to, if they need you to get in touch with you.
Sure. Our website is 360tourdesigns.com, and our phone number is 717-547-5360.
Do them both one more time.
Website is 360tourdesigns.com, and our phone number is 717-547-5360, and we'll be happy to help.
There you go. Hire 360 for your next photography and real estate needs for marketing. This has been How to Sell a House in Central PA. Please check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all that stuff. Please share, share and subscribe everything. More tips and everything at howtosellahouse.org. And thanks for listening. See you guys.
Later. I did not notice that. Is that on purpose?
Thanks for listening. We hope you got some good, actionable information out of the show that you can go use today to sell your home for the most money possible. More tips and strategies at howtosellahouse.org. That's howtosellahouse.org. If you have any questions or ideas for guests or topics, you can message us on Facebook or again, find us at howtosellahouse.org. Thanks again for listening and have an awesome day.